It's the Daily Drama Podcast with Stephen Bradford, presented by dailydrama.com and Headwear.
And bad hair day. So what's going on, man? Yeah.
Hey, dude, I was trying to be summary. I got my kids got me this pink polo for my golfing game, which I don't golf very much. So I decided to break it out and be summary. But then my light here is a little yellow. I feel like I just look a little
Yeah, I'm not sure what my light is, but it's funny because I started golfing again a little bit because I haven't for a while because of my tendonitis, but
yeah.
it's been working out. So I'm gonna have to go back and get some shirts and some golf pants and
Oh no, you'll have to go shopping.
yeah, it's horrifying.
I
And
know
then
it is.
I'm gonna have to get the because I gave away my clubs already,
Yeah.
so now I got to go do that whole thing again. But me and Jack are having a great time golfing, so.
Oh, I love that, dude.
It's such a great time to just spend together and
Well, that's what it is. It's just an excuse to spend time with whoever you go with.
totally. It's awesome time, man. It really is. It's really set up for
Hanging
friendship,
out.
hanging out. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's super cool.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, the Emmys were this past week. It was a big night for our show, General Hospital, if you didn't know what show we're on. But it was a big night for you in a lot of ways too, and so we thought it would be a fun just to kind of like give you guys a little recap of how our nights were, how it was celebrating with everybody, but also some of like the nuts and bolts of how these things go down because Steve had a really cool opportunity to present. So
Yeah, that was cool. Like the whole that opportunity came up. Frank asked if Laura and I wanted to present. And I was like, cool, yeah. And then I kind of didn't know anything until like the day before, because I was like, hey, what are we doing? When's
Sure.
the rehearsal? How do we do this? And it's always downtown, and downtown isn't always conducive to convenience.
No, it's not. Yeah, for people that don't know LA, downtown is not close to Hollywood. It's like where we work. It's not close to it's not convenient.
Yeah, it's not a convenient downtown, which is really upsetting in the sense that we have such a great place to live, but
Yeah.
the downtown is not a place that people go to or want to live in necessarily. They've
Sure.
been trying to do it, like I've said before on podcasts, for a long time.
Yeah.
So anyway, they gave us instructions to get to the Bonaventure. I've never been there. I know they've held the Tech Emmys there. I know they've held the Emmys there before.
Yeah.
So, Michelle was with me, and we got to kind of experience that together, which was cool.
The rehearsal, you mean?
Huh?
The rehearsal?
The rehearsal, yeah.
Yeah.
It was cool. Just, it was cool for her to see how everything's set up, and, because you only see stuff on TV half the time. You're like, before the last time I went was the Civic Center.
Oh, in Pasadena.
So it was more kind of theater style.
Yeah, this is more table ballroom.
Table. This is like Golden Globe-ish, or
Right.
I don't even know. Maybe they switch it up now. I don't know. But so that was cool. They would just kind of walk through the rehearsal process, and they give you a cue. So they bring you backstage. You're there in the main ballroom.
Right.
They give you a little script.
Sure.
That they
It's
want
on
you
the
to
prompter.
that they want you kind of to follow. And I'm like, hey, who do I talk to about changing this?
Oh gosh.
Look, you see your face right there?
Yeah.
I didn't have that face.
No.
I was
You're
just like, hey,
yeah.
who do we talk to here? And they're like, just change it to what you want and just let us write it down, give it to me, and they'll put it in the prompter. I'm like, cool, thanks. And it wasn't a big change. It was just taking some things out that weren't that funny.
Sure.
Because they try to have these one-liner zingers that just go.
And everybody in the ballroom goes, oh, and feels bad.
boy.
And feels bad for you.
So then we give them that. And we came in right at the end of the lunch break. Everybody came back, and then the main stage manager that knew Laura from the past.
Oh, cool.
He was super cool guy, and he was like, "Hey, let's come back. Let's do it." So they just bring us backstage. They say where you're gonna go. Stage left first, and the microphone, and then after the announcement of
The
the
winner?
video announcement of who's nominated. You walk to the middle
Oh,
to present the Emmy. You
right.
know, so it was fun, and they give you an opportunity to do it twice. Because
And
there
you're
was
like, I
something in
don't
there.
need that.
Well, no, Laura, we kind of wanted it because Laura, when 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 we came back after the video, so you sit there and you go, we had our banter, and then and nominated for
Nominees are.
outstanding leading actress is whatever, right?
Right.
And then then it comes back to us, and she was supposed to go, trust me, like to
Oh,
open it, to not mess it up,
or to
right?
not steal it.
Trust me. And I said, no, I don't, but I have
Right.
faith you can open an envelope. So it was just, we kind of found that in the rehearsal.
Sure.
So we did it again. We rehearsed twice, and then that was it. It was literally 15 minutes, 20 minutes
Sure.
in there.
Sure.
And then, the evening was amazing.
Can I ask, were
Yeah,
the tables were assigned? Yes, like or
tables were assigned. Yeah. So that's what I was thinking about, Brad, was like, you know, when we do it, yeah. So when we for the rehearsal, you're in there and all the tables are there,
right.
all the seats are already assigned, and there's pictures of everybody who are in those seats.
Nominees generally, right? Like so nominee
Nominees and I guess people from shows that they might feature.
that so for camera rehearsals.
Correct.
Yeah, so the cameras know where they're looking.
Yes. So I was thinking about that, and I'm like, this has got to be easier for production than a theater.
Oh, interesting.
Because with the nominees, you would either have to put them in the front row
Or the aisle,
or the aisle. And
right?
that doesn't give the camera guys and who's carrying his cable to make sure he can get in and out fast
Sure.
any room.
Right.
Now, if you remember, well, where we were sitting, if the people remember, if we're facing the stage, we were there was probably like 4 or 5 tables front row.
Yeah.
And then there was a huge aisle and then 2 more tables, right? That kind of setup.
Sure.
So the camera guys had plenty of room in the front and in the aisles to get wherever they needed to get.
And it was all handheld? It was all on the shoulder?
Handheld.
All on the shoulder.
All
Yeah.
handheld.
Okay, I wasn't sure if
for
because
audience.
of that space, if they could be fixed somewhere, but no.
Yeah. So
Because they want to get close to you, yeah.
yeah, I mean, so I think it's conducive to production, honestly.
There's
Even
just
though
more
it's
space.
grander and, like Radio City Music Hall looks amazing and visually
Sure.
it looks amazing.
Right.
This could be easier for production.
Absolutely. So
So
they had so you had an assigned seat.
yes.
Okay, because it's interesting because I I remember at certain Emmys like being at a certain table, but I don't necessarily remember being assigned a specific seat, if that makes sense. But I could be um
Yeah, I mean, there could be some leeway if, say, there were 4 actors that might have been featured.
yeah,
There was probably 7 or 8 seats at a table, maybe. And if there was a guest, then there would be not a placard
sure.
or a sign there.
Yeah.
So they had a chair right next to me. That was for Michelle, and then I sat in the outside chair. There was Michelle, Laura, Frank, Finola, Tanisha.
Oh yeah.
So they didn't have anyone with their backs to the stage. So
Oh,
it was kind of
interesting.
a shortened table, and then every other table behind us was full, and people
Sure.
were obviously faced toward the stage.
Right.
So it was cool, man. Like all the shows were there. They did a really good job. The red carpet was cool. I
Yeah.
haven't been on the red carpet forever.
Was
you
it
know?
was it like the last red carpet I did, which was down at, I think the last Emmys that I went to was the Beverly Hills Hotel. Remember those ones?
Yes. Yeah.
And that's actually where the Golden Globes is, so it's cool to be in that theater. But the red carpet was always a bit of a disaster because everyone is trying to do the media hits and everyone's waiting in line to try to be on. And my instinct was always to, if I was nominated, I felt like, you know what, I should do that. If I wasn't nominated,
course.
I didn't care and just walked through. But sometimes when you're nominated, the people, sometimes the actual drama people are not the biggest stars in the room. It's the talk show people. And so the media, a lot of them like media are looking for those people, and a lot of the people that are trying to line up people for the media, they don't know who's nominated. So I was nominated, and people like treated me with a bunch of disrespect, and I was like, like this isn't fun. This does I'm here to celebrate the work that me and my friends have done.
Sure.
I don't want to end up feeling like crap.
Yeah, so I think how this was set up, because it was set up really nicely. It
Yeah.
was right outside the ballroom. It was super easy, because I remember the last time I did it in Pasadena, it was outside.
Mm.
And it was so hot, dude. The sun was blazing on us. People were
Right.
sweating and makeup's freaking dripping. Like, it was just not great.
No.
Right. But this is cool because it was set up in two sections. It
Yeah.
was the photographers first, and then the video media, if you want to say
Sure.
that.
Yeah.
So you do get to kind of pick and choose.
Right.
So it was great because everything worked out. Michelle's dress looked amazing.
She looked beautiful, dude. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, man. It was awesome. We found that dress and we got it tailored, and then Sean and wardrobe helped us out to fix
Awesome.
it because the
Yeah.
tailor wasn't the best.
Sure.
And
Hey, it's a collaboration. It really is.
it's dude, it is a team. Now like to get ready for an event like this,
For sure.
it sometimes is a process,
Yeah.
and it was great. Her makeup
Yeah.
looked great. Everything
Yeah.
fell in the line perfectly.
Yeah.
We had an amazing time,
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and I'm sure
but
people were, I think, because you're back on the show,
yeah.
you have a story to tell. People were excited to hear that story, I'm sure. So, like, you didn't have to, if you wanted to talk to somebody, I'm sure they were excited to talk to you.
Well, that's true to some degree, but what you said earlier, someone was like, "Congrats on your nomination," and I'm like, "I'm not nominated. Like,
Right.
what are we,
What are we
what are we
doing?
doing?
Right.
What are we
Right.
doing here?"
Yeah.
So, but the best part was really, I mean, the event was beautiful and nice, and it's good to see, friends from all the shows, and
Right.
that's really what's cool about it.
Absolutely.
No, but it was really great just having Michelle meet everybody that I
Totally.
work with,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
at work. And, she's such a great woman and so funny and personable that it was
Yeah.
just,
Yeah.
it was just easy.
For
When it's
sure.
easy, it's easy.
For sure.
That's a Finola Hughes quote. When it's
Yeah.
easy, it's easy. And it
That's
was
right.
easy,
That's right.
so it
Um,
was awesome.
so I think the first award we won was Robert, right? Was for best
Yeah,
supporting actor.
Robert Gossett. Yeah.
That was so good. So like a lot of moments to celebrate, right? And like
Out of the gate, baby.
out of the gate. And then we
Yeah.
had writers, directors. Like, was it what was the energy? Were GH people sitting behind, like, around in your area, or were you guys spread out a little bit?
No, we were all in the same area, dude.
Right.
That's why Kelly Clarkson shouted out at the Emmys, like,
Oh.
she goes, "GH people, you're here to whatever party, or you guys are great energy, or whatever." But
That's right. I saw
dude,
that.
the energy was great, man. Like the show, I think collectively, there's a good energy at the show. There's a good momentum, or whatever we want to feel,
Right.
however you want to say that. Like,
Right.
the stories are good. People are
Yeah.
loving doing their stuff. They're,
Yeah.
and I wasn't there last year, so I don't know what the expectations were.
For sure.
Right. So
Yeah.
I was happy to be back. Cool. This is great.
Yeah.
Coming back, supporting the show. And then we went out of the gate with Robert, who's awesome.
Yeah.
And then we win those other. I mean, look, if you win writing, directing, and show, that's.
Yeah. Well, and that's always the thing, is like you win writing and directing,
And
and
then
most
you don't win show.
then something's a little off, right? Right.
Yeah, usually. I mean,
usually.
look,
Because usually
because
they're submitting the same show for all those categories. Usually.
I believe they are. Yes.
Right. So if you're watching, and I think they only
I
submit
don't
one
know if that's
episode.
true though, Brad. I don't.
It might
will
not be.
I will find that out, because a director's reel should be different than the show reel, in my opinion.
Yeah, maybe so.
But I don't know for sure.
Yeah.
Right.
And I imagine I imagine many of our people know that many people listening might know this, but it's not a year's worth of programming that is being judged. It's one episode that is submitted. So if you said, "Hey,
Is that still the case?
I believe so. I believe
Okay.
so.
Yeah.
So if you're saying, and feel free to write us if you found out something different. But in years past, like you're submitting one show for writing, directing. So you're like, hey, Bold and the Beautiful had an incredible year of writing. Um, and another show had one superlative episode of writing. You could say, you know, that other show might win for best writing, even if you thought that collectively over the
Correct.
year,
Correct.
another show had a better. So all to say, like, you know,
Correct.
that's one of the reasons why we enjoy this process, but we don't hang everything on it
Yeah, because
because
it's an imperfect system,
correct.
right? So
Yeah,
exactly like you said, somebody could collectively have the best work they've done for a year, but one actor could have
an incredible episode.
five or six snippet of scenes that they murder it,
Yeah,
and then they win.
right.
So it's never, it's all going to balance itself out at some
Sure.
point, and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's all good. Like
Right.
at this point, it's just a celebration that we're still around, still doing what we're doing, and
Absolutely.
and that says a lot. I mean,
Yeah.
4 shows left, and we're still doing it.
Right. And at a pretty high level. So when it's your turn
true.
to present, do you just get a little tap on the shoulder?
Yeah, stage manager comes over during a commercial break.
Yep.
They told us prior that we'll come get you 2 commercial breaks prior
Mm-hmm.
to your presentation, and then you go back and they have hair and makeup back there
Just a
that
little,
can just powder you. And because Michelle's dress was full of glitter, so they tried to
de-glitter you.
I go, hey, don't take the glitter off.
Oh, what a shimmer up there!
You don't
I
know.
wanna
You don't know me.
I
like.
Do you
going to
have any
Michael's.
extra rhinestones that you can
Yeah, I like
bedazzle on my
bedazzling.
suit right
I
now?
like bedazzling. So her glitter was everywhere,
Amazing.
and it was just funny because I think the wardrobe person
Sure.
was just learning. He must have been like a PA or something, and he was promoted to this job,
Yeah.
and he was trying to lint roll me. And look, when a wardrobe person walks up and they lint roll you, they know
They know.
they've done it 1,000,000 times.
Right. There's nothing shy about it.
There's nothing shy. They're just going, we're getting this off.
Right.
Don't worry. I got you. Turn
Right.
around, do it, boom. Right.
Right.
This guy was like, I go, dude, that's not going to do it. Give me the thing. Give me the thing. I'm like,
Yeah.
so it was fun. It was funny. So
And
then backstage, they take us over to a little corner where they actually let us practice one more time
cool.
on a computer, and they have a mic there, and we both stood there, read the prompter, and then they take us side stage after that, and they cue us, and we go.
Wow, that's cool that you get like a little run before you go. That's great.
Yeah, it was cool.
Um,
Because
awesome.
some people are usually drinking, so they probably would usually like that extra run.
Maybe it's like a little sobriety test.
maybe they're like, hey, let's just put this in place just to know what we're dealing
Right.
with.
So what was on the table? Food, wine, anything?
Just water.
At your table or at all tables?
All tables, water, and then they had a bar outside.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they weren't serving any sort of food.
No food.
Wow.
Appetizers were after.
Ah,
Right. So we had our after party.
sure.
Right. And as soon as it was over, you went downstairs into a big thing. I didn't go because
Sure.
we wanted to go back and change before
Right.
seeing you guys and going to the after party. We wanted to do that. So
Right.
but at that point, I don't know, you're pretty hungry.
Yeah.
and Michelle's a foodie, so we're walking out and all the food waft is coming up the escalators, and she's like, let's go down there and see what
Right.
it is. I'm like, if you really want to, but it's gonna, we'll get stuck down there because I haven't seen so many people
Sure.
for a long time. So I'm like, if we go down there, we're
not getting out.
we're not getting out of here, and we're not changing, and we're gonna be late to
Right.
everything.
Right.
So
Yeah.
she's like, okay, let's go. So
Right.
it's funny.
And then we had Kira and I did not go to the awards. A lot of the crew and a bunch of the cast do not go to the awards. There's not many, there's not not seats for everybody. So, and our show hadn't had a Emmy party since I think
Or any type
pre-pandemic
of party,
or
I
any,
think. Any
yeah.
holiday party,
Oh,
any
oh,
type of
that's
party.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's been a while since everybody's gathered together, and gosh, I can't say the attendance was 100%, but it was pretty like it was well attended.
Yeah, for sure it was.
Um,
Absolutely. And
and
then it was tight quarters for
oh, for
sure.
sure. Yeah. Well, we got a lot of people, and there was a dance floor and there was a DJ that was pumping. So it was a very festive party, and it was great to see everybody kind of let loose a bit. And you know, it, we it, real full catch up conversations will wait for another time. But
Yeah, you just don't, you think you're going to catch up and hang out.
right.
You think you are.
Right. Well,
You
because we specifically had goals to really spend quality time with you and Michelle. We had goals to spend real quality time with Kirsten because Kirsten and Kira hadn't seen each other in a while, and then
Yeah,
also like introduce Kira to people like she's never met because new cast members.
sure. Yeah.
And very little of that can be accomplished because it's a party. It's
Yeah, so it's like you get in there and you're like, okay, so there's the bar and the dance floor, so that whole place is traffic jammed, and
yeah,
then you kind of had some tables over here that people were sitting at, but you can kind of make your way through.
yeah,
So me and Michelle were just like, okay, we're swimming upstream,
right,
right?
exactly
And,
right.
and
Yeah,
everyone's like, hey, nice to meet you, and hugging and this and that, and you're trying to give people time and
right.
make your way to the back and kind of around. And it's like we would just make loops.
Yeah,
We'd make a loop and go, okay, are we ready? Like, let's
right.
go through again and see
Right.
if there's anyone we missed.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know? So
Kira and I, we love weddings, we love parties, we love to dance, and so we were on the dance floor,
yeah,
which is also not great for talking. Um,
dude,
but
there's no talking there,
no,
bro.
yeah. So anyway, but it was really fun. Thank you to Frank for hosting a great
Yeah, Frank
party.
hosted it, and we had that,
Um,
they had that photo booth there that was cool.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
So it was good, man. It's always good to do it for the crew,
oh
that
yeah,
for the cast is nice.
yeah,
That's nice.
absolutely. But
But the
it's
crew, it's really cool to see the crew with their families and be able to, shake their hands and take pictures if they want,
sure,
whatever it is they want to do, I'll do,
yeah,
obviously, because I love them. So
yeah.
it's
Yeah.
always great to have them there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Well, that was a great night. Thank you to whoever produced it. Did you find out who produced it?
No, I'm
Yeah.
don't, nope,
They
don't
don't
know.
hand out business cards.
No.
Um,
Hey, just so you know, if you're doing a podcast, here's the producer.
that's right. That's right.
But it
So,
was well done, well produced. They did it
yeah.
really well. Did a really great job.
Yeah. I hope everybody that tuned in enjoyed it. And congrats again to us for winning Best Show. Yes. Yes.
It's so stupid.
All right. Couple of things that aired on the show this week that I want to
Yeah,
touch
let's
on.
get through those things quickly.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I think on Monday, Jason and Elizabeth just cooling their paws in the pool. How did that come around? The scenes were beautiful, by the way. I saw them on Instagram, and but
Yeah.
who
It was
said,
written,
hey,
bro? It was written.
it was written? Okay, all
Okay,
right,
so this is the thing. They write it, you do it.
oh yeah.
All right. I wasn't a fan of it.
Well, yeah, I was just wondering. Yeah,
I didn't think it was something. I'm not Huck Finn and Tom Sawyer,
sure.
so throwing my feet in
And you're not
the
80 yet.
pond, and I'm not 97. So I was like, hey, is this really a
We doing?
prerequisite to this scene? Like, do I have to do this?
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, we really would like you to do this. I said, okay, Merry Christmas, because this will never happen again.
But the scenes were beautiful.
Yeah, it was fine, dude. It was cool. I mean, it was cool. It was really about the friendship, and she was coming off her stuff with Finn.
Yeah.
She needed to clear her head. And no, it was cool. I mean, the intention behind the scene was great.
Right. Absolutely.
It's just not necessarily, I think Jason would do that.
Sure. Well, but this time around, who knows? You know, like
This time around, I guess,
yeah.
you know,
So was it later that you ended up uh, in Finn's apartment helping her, or was that before?
that was before prior.
It was prior. Okay.
Yeah, it was prior to that. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Yeah. So,
Yeah. And then briefly, I stole John's wallet, but more importantly, I was clean shaven for the first time in 6, 7 years.
and that aired. How'd you feel?
I mean, it's just I'm so used to seeing delineation between my chin and my neck that when there's not delineation, it makes it just it's less pleasing to my eye.
Sure.
Um, you
I
know,
mean, you, look, dude, I don't know. I don't think I'm a beard guy. I don't know. Maybe one day I would be. I
sure,
don't know.
sure.
But you wear it well.
Thanks, dude.
You know what
I
I mean? So I think it looks amazing. And it's got to be such a stark difference to go, oh, what the
yeah,
heck?
I don't want to. I don't want to make it. I don't want to make it bigger than it is, right? Like I'm not trying to be. But so
No, but it's,
one of the
this
things
is
that
you now.
one of the things that was interesting, was that they had asked me ahead of time, hey, you're going to be doing this undercover thing where, Jagger is going to be there. And since he's met you before, you're going to be hiding under a bucket hat, like working as a Metro Court employee. Like we thought it would be better if you were shaved for that. So in my
Yeah.
head, when they told me that ahead of time, I was like, oh, cool. Spinelli will be shaving to do this to go undercover better, like to be
Sure,
more
sure, sure.
effective at being undercover.
Yeah.
Then when we filmed the episode, they they asked me to come in that day clean shaven.
Yeah.
So then when we filmed the episode, the first thing we filmed was us coming up with the plan. And I was already clean shaven. And that kind of
Oh,
went against the
oh yeah, yeah.
so
Interesting.
it didn't
Yeah.
seem like Spinelli did it intentionally to be
Mm,
more effective undercover. It just
mm.
seemed like today he decided to shave.
Oh, interesting.
And
Yeah.
I was like, and I brought it up and they were like, oh, it's okay. They like so they weren't thinking of it as
Yeah. And
intentionally.
sometimes,
Yeah.
when we get into the production aspect of things, when you're doing a role of scenes, especially that we were talking about at the pool,
Mm-hmm.
where it is a bigger production
Yeah.
lift,
Yeah.
you know, they're probably like, they're not thinking about what you're thinking about. They're going,
Sure.
oh, if we let him go down and shave
Right.
for 20 minutes
Right.
and then remake up,
That's
we're going to be
challenging.
past our
Yeah. And that
projected,
and that might
and
have just
sometimes
been
that's
it.
how it goes. You know what I
That
mean?
might yeah. So but anyway, so yeah, that was an interesting wrinkle to what aired this week because I see pictures of it and some people noticed it. They're like, oh wow, he's clean shaven. My um but it was a I don't want to say it was a big deal for me, but it was a little jarring. It was a little jarring.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Well,
um
you're back. You're
all
back
right.
now. It's okay.
So one more question to you that I'd like to pose. You can either say we'll save that or uh but so then it can be a teaser for another episode is
Sure.
not knowing everything about all your storylines. I see but I see a lot of you um in your coffee warehouse. I see you supporting other people. I see you having conversations with people. I see you having like you are you're I don't want to say you're saving everyone, but you're kind of like you are um you're it seems like your character's a bit of an island right now. Like you are supporting other people and you're protecting other people, but and that's different than he's always kind of been of an island, but he always usually had a partner, whether it
Sure.
was a Sam, whether it was Elizabeth, whether it was a Carly.
Yeah.
For him to be vulnerable with, if he wanted to be, I'm not saying you probably have had vulnerable moments with other people, but it's still
Sure.
in you're in the service of other people. It seemingly most of the time, and that's interest. Is that something?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's a great thing to definitely talk about. It's a great observation. and I think we should save it
Okay. All right.
because you could really dive into that a little bit. I think
Right. Right.
so
Um, cool. All right.
so we can
Well,
save that for next week.
okay. All right. Well, thank you all for listening. Thank you to dailydrama.com. Make sure you head over there for all your soap needs. I do the recaps. Generally, every week I do the GH, or not the recaps, the spoilers. I generally
Yes.
do the GH spoilers every week. And if I have time, I do the rest of them as well. But we have a brand new Daily Drama app, which is pretty incredible. Make sure you get on the newsletter list for because then you're eligible for giveaways. Steve, I'm going to hound you for some T-shirts, but Daily Drama also has some great merch that they're giving away,
They do, yeah, for sure.
and so head over there, get on the newsletter list, the email list. It's free, and yeah, keep listening. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah, you guys are awesome.
Have a great week.